Hello everyone, my name is Uppish Games and I am an Aspie. If you do not know what an Aspie is, they are known as someone with Asperger's syndrome. Asperger's syndrome is a form of high-functioning autism, and autism itself is known as the autism spectrum disorder. In the autism spectrum disorder, there are many things you have to deal with when you grow up. You have to deal with a lot of different thoughts, I should say. Your mind doesn't work the same way that a normal person's would. You don't tend to like to have eye contact with people. You don't tend to start up conversations like a normal people. You don't even approach the environment like a normal person. And in many cases, this can cause a lot of issues for a person with Aspie. An Aspie, I should say. Now, I know I've probably been a little vague, but I'm going to explain this through my own life story. Well, I should just say my experience as being an Aspie. When I was a baby, I apparently hated the feeling of grass. I know, that sounds strange to many people. To many people, grass was and still is soft and lush. But for me, when I was younger, when I was less than 4 years old, I hated the feeling of, when I was just a baby, I hated the feeling of grass under my feet. To me, it was like touching needles. When you're an Aspie, at an early age, your senses are so strong. So very strong. The touch of a blade of grass could be like touching a needle. A light gust of wind could feel strong. A simple blow of a small car horn could be like ear-piercing screams to somebody. It's the first part of it, of being an Aspie, that you have to deal with at an early age. I grew up from the age of up to 4, I was a very courageous kid. I would be jumping off tables, running around the house. One weird thing, though, might have been my Asperger's, was I didn't actually like to watch TV shows. Instead, what I liked to do was I liked to watch the commercials on a TV. I don't know why this was. It's strange to me, but that was the way I was. And eventually, my mom met a man who became my stepdad for more than 10 years, almost 13 to 14 years, and my life living with them was not fantastic. Being someone with Asperger's, you are not a very stable-minded person. Without proper guidance, someone with Asperger's could end up not becoming something great for themselves. They could not traverse the boundaries they're looking to traverse. They won't be able to accomplish the dreams that they want to accomplish. When I was younger, I did not live in a great household. My mom did as much as she could to take care of me. My stepdad, he would pay for the bills. He'd put food on the table. He gave a lot of electronics, but problem was he worked in a business where he was so exhausted by the end of the night that he just did not spend any time with me or my family. He would just sleep and go back to work and sleep. If he didn't do that, and he'd be laying down in his bed reading a book. He didn't really spend much time with us. Yeah, but over time, while I gained some sort of stability over my emotions, over my senses, I still, up to the age of 10, didn't know what to expect or did not know what I was, didn't know why I acted the way I did. But then by the time I hit the age of 10, I was told that I had Asperger's. I was taken to a doctor and was diagnosed with Asperger's syndrome, for which spoke a lot of the way I was when I was younger than 10. Before I had turned the age of 10, my eyesight was bad, but my hearing was fantastic. Or, not fantastic, it was overly sensitive. And that would cause me to have these things called sensory overloads. Now, when you see a kid with autism have a sensory overload, a lot of them could be lashing out at something. They could be punching something, breaking something, hurting someone, or hurting themselves. This is because they don't understand what's going on with them at this exact moment. It's like it's like a bull's eyesight going red when it sees a flag. That's kind of what it's like, except it's not exactly being straight angry at something. They're scared, they're confused, and they're very, very uncomfortable all at once for a long period of time. And depending on the person, it varies. It can be sad. It can be really upsetting. Depending on the person, in fact, it could have so many problems. It could take so long to finally get them to calm down. And because of this kind of thing, it is very difficult to keep someone with autism in public school.